The Southeastern Massachusetts real estate market moves fast. In the South Shore and South Coast, a good listing can hit the market and go under contract before you even blink. Yet, scattered across these towns are properties that look incredible, stage beautifully, and check every box, but they sit there for weeks with zero offers. Often the culprit is what we call a rigid listing. This happens when sellers strictly restrict access to the middle of the day or early afternoon. When buyers move this quickly, a property's greatest enemy isn't a dated kitchen or weird layout. It is the seller's own restrictive schedule. If a home is locked up during the exact hours a buyer is out looking, it effectively ceases to exist on the competitive market. You have to look at who is actually buying in this region. This landscape is packed with commuters and busy parents, juggling work, school runs, and endless daily tasks. Their routine is incredibly predictable. They scroll through new listings on their lunch breaks, check out the photos after dinner, and try to squeeze in a tour after 5 o'clock. This timeline shows a standard workday. When a seller only permits access during the middle of the day, they build a wall against the most qualified buyers. Those buyers hit that restricted window, are physically blocked, and simply move on. Restricting access during peak availability shrinks the pool of potential offers before the first is written. The solution to this bottleneck is surprisingly straightforward. By opening up showing windows into the early mornings, late evenings, and weekends, you remove the friction. This strategy intercepts modern buyers exactly when they actually have the time and energy to step inside and make a decision. It also gives you a psychological edge right out of the gate. A welcoming schedule signals that you are a cooperative, pragmatic seller before a buyer even sets foot on the driveway. Flexibility is a calculated, strategic maneuver designed to capture a massive, untapped pool of working buyers who are ready to spend their capital. We saw this exact scenario play out recently with a seller in Lakeville. The home was staged beautifully and the photographs looked fantastic, but the initial interest was incredibly weak. Showings trickled in during that first weekend, but the momentum was completely choked off by a restrictive daytime schedule. Recognizing the stall, the seller agreed to a specific pivot, opening up slots strictly after 5 o'clock to accommodate the local commuting crowd. Looking at this foot traffic graph, the impact is obvious. The flat line represents initial daytime traffic, but the moment 5 o'clock access opens, visitor volume steeply spikes. By midweek, that post-work influx funnels down, dropping 2 strong offers onto the table. Not a single floorboard or paint color changed in that house. Adjusting the access parameters was the single variable that sparked the market momentum. Beyond the simple metrics of how many people walk through the door, high volume changes how those buyers perceive the home's value. The chain reaction works every single time. Expanding access leads to more foot traffic, and that increased volume directly builds a higher level of baseline interest. When buyers pull up to a house and see another couple walking out the front door, it creates an immediate environment of deep scarcity. That visible volume forces people to stop casually browsing. It triggers a psychological urgency that transforms them from passive observers into aggressive competitors. Going back to our Lakeville property, that sudden surge in volume secured a sale, but it also pushed the home under contract at a premium price. This chart shows how competition functions in a busy market. While the listing price sets the baseline, it's the volume of competing bids that pushes the total sale value higher. Framing your showing schedule as a logistical chore is a mistake. It is an essential financial strategy to maximize your final sale value. In the South Shore and South Coast markets, the hours you allow people inside your home dictate the financial results you get at the closing table. Implementing this access model requires a strategic architect. That is where Corcoran at Better Living Real Estate comes in. Achieving exceptional real estate results requires expertly removing the invisible barriers between your front door and the buyers who are ready to pay top dollar.